GG's The Mouthful podcast is brought to you by GoodGame.Tech, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Join the conversation at www.goodgame.tech.
What's up, everybody? This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is going to be the real episode 91 of GG's The Mouthful.
Guess what?
91.
The GG podcast.
I may be off of my count there, but no, 91 it is. Yes, the real 91.
We're
guys.
91?
We are 91 years old.
91. All right.
We're
getting
close
old.
to 100.
We are old.
We're old and crotchety. I guess from
Speak
91.
for yourself, sir.
Oh yeah. Well, I have my reasons. I feel like from 91 to 99, we're gonna be like, oh, we're getting there. We're getting close to 100.
That's right. Close to the centennial.
And then we close shop, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Then we start.
We end
zero.
up at the top. We end it at the top.
Yeah.
That's
It's gonna
what we
be party
And
at
then
the
you
bunker.
do like a new season.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, actually,
season
no. We're gonna do a spin-off of the podcast. It's gonna be called Stage Clear, the Stage Clear
The
podcast.
Stage Clear podcast. Nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
Fun fact: that was gonna be the original name of the podcast before we settled on the
And that's
mouthful.
probably going to be
That's
like
right.
what we're going to do is just stream it on Twitch, on couches and everything, like a little talk show.
But it's gonna fail because nobody cares about spin-offs.
No, they don't.
No,
They never
definitely
do.
not.
No.
Well, those voices that you hear, of course, to my right here is Mr. David Santos, a.k.a. Dream Twister.
AT&T Uverse can suck a big fat one. Lollipop.
Okay, there you
You're
go.
trying to be clean there.
Let me.
Stand by. Well, also with us is Miss Krista Montanez, a.k.a. Shadow 24/7.
Just to stop
What are
the
your thoughts
rant.
on AT&T?
I have zero
Shadow.
thoughts of... Oh, well, I don't have any thoughts.
I've
Verizon, guys,
never
is where it's at.
really. Well, he's talking about internet connection. I've never
Verizon
really.
I'm
Fios.
talking about TV. Yeah, I'm talking about my cable, which sucks and it's terrible because Uverse is terrible. And if you think otherwise, you're a bad person.
I mean, it
And
probably
you
works
should.
for some people who doesn't have as much equipment as you do.
But no, but it's not the internet. Well, it was the internet giving me trouble. I think there's something with the line somewhere outside of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a technician. They dispatched a technician yesterday morning, and supposedly got everything fixed. And now I'm back to having the same problem that I was having. And one of my cable boxes was wireless, which like I don't understand why would it have given me a wireless box if there was a connection like right there next to the next to the wall.
That's weird.
There's a cable.
weird,
There was a cable connection. Yeah, and so
That would explain why you're having issues.
no, but
Because wireless.
right now it's plugged to the wall, and they say, oh yeah, no, we got it fixed. There was a line there already, so we didn't have to charge you for putting one. No shit. All right,
So we're gonna pay you anyway, buddy.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna demand a credit for the 3 days that I've been without TV service, even though I really don't use the TV service. But I have people that I rent a room to, and they've been without TV for 3 days, and they don't have any other form of entertainment. It's a small room. There's not much to do. So yeah, I'm not very happy with AT&T. You rascals.
Oh,
Honestly,
man.
worse.
No problem.
So
Well, thank
because of that, I'm the only person having liquor today.
Yes, you are. Thanks so
for
much, you guys, for tuning in. If this is your first time listening, thank you so much for tuning in. Please go to goodgame.tech. That's our Facebook group, and join the conversation there. Also, please like, subscribe, and share this podcast wherever you're listening it to. We do appreciate that. So we're going to start with what we always start with our shows, and that is what have we been up to. And today, I'm going to start with myself.
Yay! Tell us a story, Uncle Mad Dog.
Uncle Mad Dog, okay. First off, I'm still playing Titanfall 2. and I'm still loving the hell out of it. And
That's good.
I'm near the end. I've got I think just won the very last upgrade to BT. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I'm right there. Bluetooth.
Oh, yeah. That's the robot's name. Bluetooth.
Yeah, and I'm almost to the end there. I play a little bit of the multiplayer.
Oh,
yeah, I
really?
jumped in.
Alright.
I jump into it with Gilberto,
How'd that work out for you?
and let me tell you, that is some frantic awesomeness
Isn't
right there.
it? Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's
I've been,
crazy.
I've been
good,
trying to preach the gospel, not my dog. Tell us about the grandiose and the awesomeness that is.
It is. First off,
Titanfall
I
2
love when you
multiplayer.
summon the Titan. You know when you
Yes.
just saying that phrase. I'm summoning my Titan, and it just
Yes.
comes and just lights things up. I did enjoy. We only played one match and we won. Even though we were like getting our asses handed to us at the beginning,
At the
but,
very
yeah,
end.
we came back. around.
I love the fact that even let's say if you lose, you gotta bolt it to try to save yourself. You gotta try to exit out of the combat location. But the other team that already won, they can still take your rescue ship and take it down. So it always feels like
I've done that before.
Yeah, right. It always feels this very hectic run where it's like, oh no, we lost this round. Retreat! Everybody retreat! Retreat!
It's a
You see
massive retreat.
everybody going. You summon your Titan and you don't get it. Like I try to have my Titan fight on his own, even though he's obviously not as good. The AI is not going to be as good. Probably better than me, but that way I can while they're fighting, what a Titan's fight, my Titan's fighting the other Titan. I try to sneak from behind and try to take away their batteries.
Oh, okay.
And,
to jump on the racks, yeah.
yeah. Or sometimes I just need a quick escape, so I'll just
Do
be
they
able,
still have the option where you can actually like climb on ally titans?
They did.
Yes,
they did. They did have it.
You could go rodeo.
Yeah,
Kind of
And,
like
it
shotgun.
It's pretty fun. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I want to play some more. The campaign is so good. I was actually talking to Joey about this, and I was like, I may finish this and actually play it again. Like just
You're making
start
me
it
want to
all
go
over.
back.
And because it's really good. Well, you know what? Joey's the one who a friend of mine, Joey. He was the one who actually made me want to do that because he goes, "Man, I played it through like 3 times in a row." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I don't feel so bad then."
It's not super long or anything like that. Once you get it, you're gonna want to
8
play
to
it.
10 hours. Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah. But it's very diverse and it goes into crazy things like you were describing without it being any major spoilers or anything like that. The area where it felt like they were building worlds. They were building
like a simulated world, almost like the same thing you would see from when you think about the 1940s, 1950s with the bomb testing.
Yeah.
Well, they had these weird cities that they built just for the purpose of destroying it with a
them.
bomb.
Yeah,
So those
yeah.
weird cities that they were building. And I was like, I don't
might
know what's
have
going
to
on
borrow
here.
it from my brother. Like I only played the beta.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
so I
No,
might
it's
have to borrow
really
it.
Well, you
good.
know what? Every now and then I see them for like $20 on Amazon, and I bet all the retails. You should really pick that up. It's the I like to call it the last good game published by EA. If you want to remember the old way.
That's because
the
that
old
is the
days.
last good game.
Yeah.
If you really look at everything after that.
Yeah.
Before riddled with
Yeah.
Before it became,
microtransactions.
exactly.
crappy.
Like I don't even have any hope for
I mean, that's literally
Titanfall
what-
3.
That's
Titanfall
literally
3?
what
No,
gives
never gonna
a
happen.
game to become ugly. and
Yeah.
not very good.
No,
It's never gonna-
Titanfall 3 is happening. They already announced it.
Did they?
Yeah. They already said that. That was one of the reasons why they got Respawn. Actually, what I'm saying is, it's not. It is gonna be a Titanfall 3 in like spirit or in name, but not in spirit because it's just whatever it is. It's just gonna be EA riddled with microtransactions.
Oh, I got you.
And loot boxes. Loot boxes is the bad thing. Microtransactions, we're kind of used to it already.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what
Yeah.
comes out of it. I enjoy. So yeah, I've been playing that. The only other thing that I did just yesterday, as a matter of fact, I sat and watched my very first Overwatch league match.
Oh, the tournament?
Yeah,
We were
and,
watching it
yeah.
yesterday.
And it's actually
Yeah.
pretty freaking good. I'm like, I'm sitting there going, I know what's happening. This is actually pretty entertaining. The guys who commentate over the matches, are actually pretty entertaining as
Yeah,
well.
they make it sound.
Yeah,
they make
yeah.
it feel like an actual.
And they know they can
contact
see
sport.
it and know it. If it's anything like any other sport, I think they're always just a bit ahead from what we're seeing. So as it's happening, we're seeing it. They're talking about it, but we're seeing it at the same time.
Maybe, yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was L.A. versus Philadelphia. L.A. pulled the comeback. It was best of four for whatever reason. Best of four. Because I'm like, if you have three, do you really have to play the
Because
last one?
they do two payloads, a control map, and the I guess like a rush control or something.
Oh, there you
I
go.
don't remember what it was, yeah.
That would explain why.
So it was Philadelphia was up 2-0 at the beginning. These guys came back to finish off the last two and so that took them into like a tiebreaker fifth playground,
Wow.
fifth play, and Los Angeles took him and they basically took it at the very end. I was like, man, and I was like excited. I was like, yeah. I want them to do it.
The best thing though about
yeah.
it though is that I like that they keep all the footage on gameplay until the end of the match. All of it's on gameplay.
you mean?
You're not seeing anybody. You're not seeing
You don't see any
anybody
faces,
playing.
nothing.
You're constantly seeing the actual match.
Oh, okay.
Plus, they have that internal camera that they're able to kind of do an overhead.
The spectating mode.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's so good.
In
man.
game, in
Yeah.
engine.
Yeah,
Like
in
engine,
engine
you mean.
camera. Yeah.
Got you. Okay,
So
that's
it's
cool.
actually really good. I enjoyed the heck out of that. Anybody likes Overwatch, I recommend. You just give it a shot. Take a look at it. I didn't think I was going to be into an esport like that. And doesn't mean I'm going to tune in all the time.
Oh yeah, we
But I
need
definitely
to watch
enjoyed it for.
You're gonna be-
Florida's game today.
We're gonna do our fantasy.
I think Florida game's already over. No,
We'll rewatch it,
Oh,
see what
no,
they
no.
did.
it's a sport. I only watch live, guys.
Where are we starting? Where are we starting our Overwatch fantasy league?
Oh,
You
nice, nice.
Is that? I'm
possible,
sure
you
that's
can.
happening. Oh,
I'm
well, go to DraftKings probably or something like
I'm
that.
sure it's in there.
DraftKings not
That's
a
right.
sponsor of the G podcast, and they're probably not existing right now with all the regulation and crap.
Oh
but
yeah, exactly.
I
The
bet
thing
there
is
is.
that
I bet
how would
there
that
is.
really work? Considering that how's that really gonna work though?
I don't know. I'm sure they'll figure something out about it. I mean, it's not unheard
It's
of.
fantasy, you
yeah,
know.
exactly.
They make the
if they
rules
could
how they
do
come.
if they could do fantasy NASCAR, then they can do that. Okay, so it's possible.
Actually,
guys.
I do remember.
Yes, I remember
at
playing
work.
that, yeah.
There were people like into
it, yeah.
fantasy NASCAR. I didn't think I was.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know how they'll do. Like what they do with fantasy football, but you get to pick your own players from
It's just-
all
yeah,
the
it's just-
teams.
Yeah,
Similar
well,
thing.
yeah. I
Similar
bet
thing.
Because they do have their own stats and all that that the league does show.
Correct. That's what they'll do with the I'm sure at some point, and I would definitely be
Junkrat
down with that.
for my first pick. Junkrat.
Oh no,
No,
I'm
like
not picking
actual
Junkrat.
players.
The player, yeah, the
Oh.
actual.
Oh, that's how
Facebook
that
player.
works. Oh, okay, gotcha.
So yeah, that's all I've been doing. Mr. Santos, what you been up to other than fighting with AT&T?
Oh yeah, exactly. Other than not watching the TV that I didn't watch anyway, I going into Zelda, of course, still playing that because that game never ends. But I'm trying to be a little bit more focused because I feel like okay, I've gotten strong enough to where I can manage, most fights. So I guess I can follow the story, and I've been doing that. The story, quote unquote, because there really isn't much to it. But I've been having a blast with that. Surprisingly enough, I've been playing a hell of a lot of Street Fighter V Arcade Edition because, and I'm already getting the cynics over here, be like shaking their heads,
That's
like
a shame,
why?
sir. I am disappointed.
I let me tell you. So finally, that game has reached its potential, and I'm being serious. I'm
How so?
all jokes aside,
so you're
How
saying
so?
it's 1.0.
you're saying that it's
A complete
over
game.
9,000.
It's over 9,000. It might as well be actually. What were you gonna say, Shadow?
No, I'm saying how so.
For those who don't who remember, actually, Street Fighter V came out in 2016, and it was like a
Shit.
disappointment. Yeah, it was terrible in the sense that it was bare bones and functional, but it was lagging a lot of content, a ton of content.
So it was like quarter of a game.
Not even.
Yeah, almost not even. Another one, I got that game on a luck draw from Amazon. They glitched out at some point, and they were selling it for $9.99. So I got 2 copies.
And we
I get one.
overpaid. For the record, we overpaid.
Hey, we have fun. That time that we played.
That one time we played.
That time that we played, we have fun. so and then I left it at that. Never touched it again. Come now, they have released this patch which is free to anybody that has the game, and it is a complete overhaul of the interface. Complete overhaul. It looks like what you expect. You know, what you remember when Street Fighter 2 will have the Championship Edition and the Hyper Edition, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that. I remember the first the Street Fighter 5. It was lacking the arcade mode.
Okay.
Well, I feel like, I mean, it took them forever, and of course, it's not justified. I still shame on you, Capcom. But I can appreciate that they weren't like, okay, fine, you guys want an arcade? Then I'm going to give you a hell of an arcade. How about this? Street Fighter 1, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 4, and Street Fighter 5. Arcade modes for all of them. So you could literally go in and pick up, let's say, you start, let's say you want to play Street Fighter, the original one, the
Fighting Street?
Yeah, the Fighting Streets. Yes, the Fighting Streets. So you're limited to just the characters that might have appeared on that game. Of course, not all of them, because they're still running from,
It was just Ryu, no?
Well, Ryu and Ken, it was their story.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But you can only do Ken if you were second place.
Yeah. I mean, they're taking liberties. They're not making a faithful recreation, because for all intended purposes, it's still the graphics of Street Fighter 5. But they have the music remix of the original Street Fighter, and same thing with Street Fighter 2. They will remix the music, which is kind of like a very nice nostalgic feeling. And all the and no matter what character you pick, you will get an ending. Of course, it's nothing. I mean, it's gonna be something simple. You finish with, I don't know, Blanca. Let's say, for example, you get just one page where it shows kind of like a comics thing of what happened, and okay, that's the ending. Fine. But then again, the endings in the arcades weren't that.
No, they were
better.
Yeah.
They were just pretty much that.
There were cutscenes like from Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, exactly. This is just like one page, almost like a quick comic. Boom, done, and off to the next one. The like I said, the music is remixed to the era, to the type of to the arcade that you have. If you're playing Street Fighter 2, for example, they brought back the barrel breaking bonus stage.
Nice. And the car, too?
No, man. I was waiting for the car. I wanted the car so bad, the car destruction. I could definitely see it coming in on a patch with another season there.
Yeah.
Probably if people talk about it enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Back,
So if you own the original Street Fighter, like I said, the Street Fighter 5, this you get the update, but that's it. No new characters. The new characters you will get you have the original characters that you have with the game, but you don't get any additional characters.
The downloadable characters.
The downloadable characters come in if you actually buy arcade, the arcade edition now. It has the original cast plus the season 1 and season 2, so it's like 12 additional ones in total.
So it's finally a complete edition.
Yes, it feels much so. And considering that there is a third season coming in with like 4 additional characters, exactly. Now you see that game has a huge roster.
So they're probably going to keep adding on to it until the next game.
Well, they did say, I remember when this game was coming out, they were saying that, okay, we're going to serve this as a platform. But the problem was that it was very bare. It was like, might as well literally have been a platform, because he had nothing to build, they had nothing added other than, hey, you want to play versus? Sure, play versus. And that's it. And then later on, they came up with the story. Oh, that's another thing. It also has the story mode that want to be like Mortal Kombat. I haven't tried that yet, but now that it feels good, and it's getting great reviews also everywhere. I'm talking about like 9.0s and stuff. Now it kind of pushes me to see, okay, let me see what this mode, even though I know it's silly, it's not going to be a great story or anything like that because it's a fighting game still. But man, it's still Street Fighter, like Street Fighter, the core game itself, the fighting portion of Street Fighter V was good. You know, it was just a shame that it didn't have that.
The game wasn't bad. Although, if I recall correctly, I remember hearing early on there were some issues with the lag, input lag, but maybe that got already addressed.
Yeah, that was another thing. No, yeah, that they tightened that. You know, they definitely tightened that down. Even the presentation is like next level stuff. Like, I don't know, I posted a replay of one of our best fights that we had that day. That in 2016 we had that, you know, that fight on the version, I think it was like 1.4 of Street Fighter, and now it's funny because when you pull that replay now, it actually puts like a date stamp and everything. Nice. It shows you like, you know, in this date, and it goes into the versus screen, you know, and it's some really nice touches. I'm telling you, I was very like, you know, screw Street Fighter V. They shit the bed. I'm not gonna care about any updates. I never care about any of the new character that they were showing. I just didn't want to look back. To me, it was like too late. So sad. Done. Having received this for free, and liking the gameplay,
the final product,
and the final product so much, I actually decided to spend the money and get the full version.
The full,
yeah,
to get the other characters.
To get the other characters, and I'm like the thing that finally impulsed me to do so was.
You only spent $10.
I am having true. Yeah, let's be real. Yeah, true. But I'm having a lot of fun with this. I kind of want to get good with other characters. I might even jump into multiplayer, even though I bet I'll get my ass. By the way, this is
wrong with that.
If I remember the multiplayer correctly, they still rank you. I mean, you're still going to be put together with your whatever your level ranking is.
Well,
they're not going to put you up with like.
Diamond level.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I haven't tried it, but I heard that even that has gotten like an overhaul to for the best, for the finest.
That's good.
You got daily challenges and stuff like that. It's a really well done package, and I encourage you if dust off your copy of Street Fighter V. I think the only other person that I know that I have in the group is you.
Yes.
I will install it.
Reinstall it.
Reinstall it. Just look at it and then decide for yourself. Because I would love to have another
opinion.
No, well, another opinion and another. But it's like Ken and Ryu looking for her.
Okay.
We're always looking to battle ourselves. You know, test our mettle.
Yes.
And
test your might.
That fight, that replay was funny because for a second it went into just us like. Literally 10 Hadoukens, one back to back, trying to block ourselves with Hadouken.
Trying
like both of us.
get the controls right.
Yeah, no, because we were trying. I think it was I won the first round, he won the second round, and on the last round we were like middle, like right there. Anything is possible, and we just went at one point. Just went Hadouken. We kept blocking our Hadoukens 10 times. And then we stopped. Like both of us stopped at the same time. It's not that the other person just kept on going. No, we were like, okay, let's finish this.
Yeah, let's do this right.
Oh my god! But yeah, it's man.
I might do it. You're making me warm up.
If it wasn't for the fact that I know you're the hurt that you got to leave, I will show you a little bit what I mean. It's like that interface is super clean now. It's gold, and it's funny because I think I saw on Resetera. The forums, you know how they have the arena threads and they put like a subtitle. Well, the subtitle is Street Fighter V, it's gone gold, but it's because the aesthetics of it's all gold. It has a lot of gold, but also what they
also,
like. Okay, this game's finally finished.
Yeah.
Wow. It was pretty good. Anyway, I think that's all I've been doing.
Awesome. Miss Shadow. What you been up to over there?
It makes me want to get it, but I'm really waiting for Soul Calibur because we haven't had a Soul Calibur in a while.
Yeah, Soul Calibur.
It's coming.
When is that coming out? When?
I don't know. They have a date.
I don't think they have a date, so it's either
I'll fact check
this year or next year.
You know what I heard? I heard Tekken 7 was really good.
Yeah.
was like,
I heard of that.
yeah,
Yeah, I heard it was. It got good reviews too. Yeah, just
you
for some reason.
have to like get it, even the endings and stuff like that. That's the thing. I'm not a huge fighting game fan, but I'll
It's
definitely.
nice to have in your library because you don't know who's coming over.
Well, Soul Calibur. If you get it, I'm there with you. I'm there with you.
Nice.
Sis.
So, what I've been doing, I finished Batman
Oh, the whole.
Oh, wow.
the whole season, and it's really Batman-like. You know, dark,
Oh,
a lot
okay.
of fighting. There's a lot of QTEs in it,
Oh,
which
okay.
surprised me. But you know, Telltale tries to make it like the original.
Well, let me ask you. When you say it's very Batman, like, does it get? Do you mean in the sense that it almost predictable, or do you get at least few surprises without spoiling anything? Of course.
You do have some things are predictable, but you do get a few surprises in the game,
Okay.
like some
they-
stuff
they
that you
take-
didn't expect to happen.
They take risk.
They do. And, of course, it all depends how you play it out, if you're going to get surprised or not. And I liked it. It's still, growing on the voices, obviously. But I really did like it. It had some slow moments, but that's because, like, every story is going to have a slow
It's
moment.
a Telltale
Yeah.
game.
Exactly. You got to have your drama.
Yeah.
You gotta-
Otherwise, it's Arkham Knight.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
That piece of
But it was good. It was really good, and they are making a second season, if I remember right.
Oh, it's already out.
That's
They're
Is
already-
it?
Yeah,
Yes,
they're
it
already
is.
on.
So I
like,
do want
episode 3
to
of the
Get
second
into-
season
the
of
second
Batman.
season. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really? When
Yeah.
did this happen?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like they were ready to roll right after they released the first one.
Wow.
Yeah, because I could have
I would've
sworn
not
that a sex season was coming, but I didn't know that was already out. But I do want to, because
So. Did you say sex scene?
second season.
Oh, okay.
It's the second
Sorry.
season. I was her sex scene. I'm like, whoa.
No.
Is that DLC?
Damn that Catwoman.
Well, you just have to play the game to find out that actually happens.
Oh.
Yes, it depends on the decision you make.
I'll make the wrong
Exactly.
decision.
Always
So-
Batman will
choose-
remember this. Catwoman will remember this. Sorry. Keep going.
So it has, of course, your memorable characters and some new ones that they had to fit in for the story. It was really good.
Good. Well, I'm going to turn into that soon. So
I've
think-
also...
No, I was going to ask you, do you think there hasn't, I won't say there hasn't been, but there hasn't been a good Superman game, right? I don't
As
think
far
we
as
can,
I
what
remember...
do you mean?
no.
Superman 64 was gold.
Oh, yeah, that one was. But that
I'll
was, like,
take it back.
so long ago.
I take it back. I know, yeah. It's
was
Telltale.
I
If you're
remember playing
listening,
that.
we need a Superman 64 Telltale game. I was wondering if you think that the Telltale, the Telltale mold, what was call it the factory. If you think they will have the chops to bring us a good Superman story.
I'm sure they're trying to go into, like, every franchise.
Oh yeah, because it's
yeah.
Telltale, of course. They're gonna.
I mean, hey, it beats having, like, a
I bet you they could do
movie
it.
game or something. Well, technically, that it would be like a movie game, but, like, it'd be good.
I bet you they can do a better Justice League.
Oh
Yeah.
Snap.
I read somewhere that they were doing the animation of what was that?
His mustache?
No, the
Oh.
the dreadful movie, the one with the villains.
The dreadful villains.
Yeah, the DC one with the villains. What's the name of it? Everybody
Watchmen?
say no.
Sinister
it
Six?
Watchmen?
No, that's Marvel.
No. I'm talking about.
Oh, Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Oh,
Thank you.
that.
Yes. Yeah. There's
Because I'm just
they're
like,
having
what,
an
what do you mean
animation.
villains?
Yes, I saw the trailer for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How does it look?
Dude, that's the best thing they can do. Animated movies, DC has down packed.
Oh.
I have
Yeah,
no doubt.
their animated movies are always good. It's
Uh-huh.
just they're non-animated. That's like.
Lacking.
So, anyways, I've tried 2 betas already.
Oh,
I've done Dragon Ball Fighters,
how's that?
which I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
it
you're
a
a
lot
Dragon
more
Ball
than.
person, yeah. So
Well, also fighting game.
I know. Well, still, it's the characters. I have like no connection to them. So,
That's all
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I like it though.
Yeah.
It's really like 2D and 3D combined.
It Is it fast paced? Because it should be
It's
fast paced.
fast.
Type of.
Yeah, it's a bit fast paced, and also you can summon Shenron, which is the dragon who grants wishes. If you get all 7 Dragon Balls by doing
okay.
combos, he can give you stat boosts that can help you out. I know that the beta had some issues. They had some connectivity issues. I knew that the first day I was playing, I kept getting kicked out. I couldn't get in. And once I got in, like almost all the servers were full.
I can imagine. Yeah, oh, that's what they're testing for. So, hopefully, when they release, when did they release?
They actually release next week along with Monster Hunter.
Oh crap! Then
Get that shit
why are they
together.
doing beta tests?
Yeah.
That's just a marketing. There's nothing to test here.
Well, probably to test
Servers,
their
that's it.
servers because that's like the first time they've ever
What are
done
they
that.
gonna do? If they're releasing next week, they don't
Well,
have time
Monster
to fix
Hunter
anything.
has their final beta test this weekend.
That makes but you could tell that was marketing.
Of
'Cause
course
they
it
don't.
is.
Yeah,
That is
that's
marketing.
all marketing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I played that game. Whatever the first beta is, maybe the second one. I was like, this looks pretty finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're-
hey, that's a good thing.
Pretty
That's a
done.
good
yeah,
sign.
and also because people, like to get in-game stuff.
True.
That's
Oh
why.
yeah, you play the beta, you get like a charge.
So, what I like though is that you have your little social area because a lot of games apparently like to do that. But you have like you can pick which character you want to run around as, and there's little itty bitty characters running around.
Like miniatures?
Yeah, little miniature I guess I should say like little chibi things.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Little miniatures running around. It's adorable. So and also I got to before I came here today, I got to try out Metal Gear Survive.
That's the one. That is the one that I was waiting for you to
Nice.
say.
How'd you know I would even play it?
No, I was looking because I know the beta is happening. You say I played 2 betas. I was hoping that you would say one of
It
them
could have
was
been Monster
actually
Hunter too,
Then I would have been like, oh, you didn't
but
play.
I've already explained it before.
Unfortunately, you didn't play
So-
Metal Gear Survive. Metal Gear
I
Survive.
didn't
was very
expect it
excited.
to be $40.
It's for $40
It's
for. Is it
$40.
released?
It's a $40 game.
It's a $40 game. Yeah, yeah. I think this beta is also just marketing, but
It is,
I was-
and I didn't even finish the beta.
I was I wouldn't say like excited, but it was curious when I started hearing and I was starting seeing the first person, the first person. Listen to me, the single player aspect of it. I was kind of like, oh yeah, I'm digging this. This might be interesting, taking it as an offshoot and forgetting that it's Metal Gear because it shouldn't even be the same world or whatever.
It's
But
the
I did.
same, controls.
I
just-
did enjoy a lot Metal Gear Solid 5, like a lot, and that engine it's it's incredible. It's something amazing. So I was looking forward to this, and then they say, "Oh, and by the way, the game is always online. You need to have internet."
That's not really that big a
connection.
deal nowadays.
I mean, Monster Hunter's
That-
that way, but it's that way for a reason.
Yeah, but I
Monster Hunter's
expect
that
that.
way.
I expect that.
Destiny's that way.
Destiny, I expect
Yeah,
those
they're that
games
way
to
for a
be.
reason, though.
Yeah,
But this is an online. This is you're playing online
people,
with people.
too.
Yeah,
so,
but not the single player campaign. I mean, you could play the single player co-op, but what if you don't? If I don't want to play single player co-op, I should be able to shut it down.
It's the same thing
just
with
like
Destiny. You could
just
still
like
play single player in
PS5.
Destiny. By
Yeah,
yourself.
but
You
that's
don't
what I'm
have to play
saying.
with
I don't think it has that option. I think they say always online. They didn't say you can
That's
shut
what I'm
it
saying
down.
though. Destiny, you can play by yourself, but it is still online. It's still connected.
Right.
I think
That's the
also-
aspect.
I
That's the
think they're
aspect that I
doing
don't
that
like. I'll
too.
tell you why. Because even though with Destiny, I sort of expect already that Destiny has that. So before I go into when I'm making my purchasing decision, I expect that Destiny is going to be online. Yes, even if I'm just going to play a single player campaign, and that's fine. The servers, you go down. I already know what I'm getting into. With this one though, I have a problem because MGS5, I was able to play the single player campaign offline if I wanted to. And on this one, it seems like you
I
don't
think-
have that
I
option.
guess
So they're
it's
taking
just
something
a
away.
different feel.
Yeah, I think it's. I literally think it. In truth, I think we can all agree with this. This is Metal Gear by name only. You know what I'm saying?
and-
So this is literally
Yeah.
a completely
Yeah.
different game. Just happens to have the Metal Gear.
And
name
the ma-
on it.
the-
So-
the main thing
that's
is-
disappointing, really.
The main thing is giving if it would have been any other publisher, with the exception of EA, I probably would have been okay with it because it's still $40 and it's still. I mean, if we would have gotten like very, very great reviews, like you got to try this out, then sure, why not? But this is a Konami game, and that means that at any moment they can decide to pull the plug on
yeah.
this early.
Yeah.
Super early, and boom, there's goes your game. You no longer get to play it. So that's what I mean, the aspect of, I don't think I'm going to get into this, unless it's like amazing out of this world. So far, what I've seen,
that part I can see.
I didn't
nothing
feel
like
like
blows
it
my
was
mind.
great because when I started, I went and it put me in a like full on like white pixelated place, just like your starting point for the beta.
The construct.
Yeah, and you get to choose to train, which if you do that, it'll pull up dummies in that area, which is weird. I thought it was put me like a training room or something. There's no tutorial. Like you can look up the tutorial and read it, but who's gonna do that?
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be in the finished product. It's not finished.
Yeah.
Technically not.
But,
so
when you get in
a couple of weeks.
what I found interesting is that it'll have like screens. It'll show you, and then opening areas for squad mates, which you can call in. One for your mission, and I think that's it. And then you can go through your loadouts. You can customize your uniforms and all that. You can put different stuff on. What I did notice is that there is a weight limit that your character has.
Really? Oh, great.
And that determines
I
what
hate that in
equipment you
regular
put on.
games.
And I put some good durability and good defense equipment, but when I got into the game, I realized my character was a little slower.
Oh, because you had so much stuff on.
And
So overall, I mean, what do you think about it? I mean,
like,
overall.
it was all right, not great to me, because
Not
it
worth
just
supporting.
felt like it just felt like a full-on zombie game in the universe of Metal Gear, in the Metal Gear universe.
It feels like it looks like a mod. I can't speak to the feel because I haven't played it, but it almost looks like somebody made a really good mod.
It does
Yeah.
look like a mod. Actually, you put it in words.
That's
It
what it
does look
sounds
like a
like, yeah.
really good. Like it has the controls of Metal Gear.
Yeah, and the
Sneaking
sounds,
around.
in the sounds even.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I noticed that I just wanted to say zombies. They call them creatures in the game, but the zombies, they can hear you and all that like regular enemies in Metal Gear, and they'll have the little like
The little question mark and
they'll have the
exclamation
sound
You mean
when
the zombie corns?
the zombie chords, yeah.
The zombie corns.
they'll have the sound when they are alerted and all that. So it's really like Metal Gear, but it's not Metal Gear.
I hope it's varied though with that, because if it's just a zombie corn all the time, that shit's gonna get boring real fast.
You can pick up like supplies and materials in the field to later upgrade your stuff, your weapons, and all that. But I don't know. I wasn't really into it.
I don't know if I looked at some gameplay of it, and it seems like you're managing hunger and I don't know, it's thirst.
You have stuff that can affect, yeah.
So
Which the first thing you can say, oh, well, they have the Metal Gear Solid 3.
those are not my type of, particularly my favorite games, but I mean, it's in the title. It's Metal Gear Survive. So
Yeah, and it does have a count where it says how many days you've survived.
Oh, yeah, that's like Don't Starve.
But I like Don't Starve.
Okay.
This
I
not
don't
so
like Don't
much.
Starve, yeah.
all right, let's
I
see.
guess we'll see what
I'm ready
what
to be
the final
blown away.
product is. Yeah.
Hey, if they say, hey,
Cross fingers.
you should not miss this game, then I will not miss it. But
Yeah,
as
it
as
feels
look
like
right
something that I play with somebody else, not by myself. Really.
now, I like to
So-
play.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll
that's
see.
what I've been doing. If you want the betas over the weekend, so
We'll give it a shot. Maybe.
It's a multiplayer beta. That's why I didn't care to download it, because I was like,
it gives you a feel of how the game's gonna be.
I already know how the game feels because it's Metal Gear 5.
All right, guys, I'm going to go into some news items. Before I do that, first off, I wanted to jump back a little bit to Soul Calibur 6. No date, just 2018. They said that there.
So 2019, in
So
reality,
20, yeah.
sometime.
2020 at the end of the year.
bro.
By our prediction.
The fiscal
from-
2020.
Yes.
So, also, I needed to say something before I start the news. I have to admit, that I did something. I told someone I would do it here on the show. And first off, I'm going to apologize in advance. It wasn't an easy decision to do this.
I told you, man, you don't have to feel bad for playing Titanfall 2. It's a great game.
No. Unfortunately, I uninstalled Overwatch.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's not really a big issue.
Yeah. Well, it
Didn't-
depressed many people I've mentioned to. I'm like,
You didn't find yourself with the will to try it again, to come back? Maybe
no.
one last
maybe
round?
a little bit, especially after
Maybe
watching the
for
league.
new content,
but-
just like come once in a while for
Well, I
the
mean,
new content.
I've never played the new areas or the new characters. I think maybe I played
on the same
Anna
boat.
once, and then Orisa. Never, that was never there.
And it's not because there's anything
Doomfist,
bad
never
with it.
tried it. No, I just
It's just
never got around. to
I
it.
can
game.
understand because it's literally a multiplayer game.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. So
it's like idly playing.
I felt the need to, confess what I did there.
Oh, that's all right. There's
Moving
some
on.
people
your
who don't
sins
even
have
like the
been
game.
absolved,
Thank
my
you.
son.
Thank you. Speaking of sins, not sure if you heard of this particular story, which is not really funny, but it's funny because it's a segue. But anyway, Quantic Dreams is in the news recently, and they've been accused for tolerating racism and sexist behavior in the workplace.
Whoa!
Yes, this is
Quantic
coming-
Dreams, the makers of
Heavy Rain
Heavy Rain,
Yes.
Heavy Rain and Detroit.
the upcoming Detroit.
and Fahrenheit. Is it
Fahrenheit, yeah, Fahrenheit
Oh, that's
is another
also-
one.
yeah, that's also, yeah.
Somebody's making all the wrong choices there.
Yeah, I think so.
Get it? Good. Their games is about
Because it's a
making
decision
choices.
based. Yes, I got you.
Thank you.
The reports went into 3 different French language publications. So just in case one wasn't enough,
Oh,
3
wow.
different publications reported on it. And of course, David Cage came out, and I got to tell you, I don't know if you read the thing, but you just go read it. It's ridiculous. His response to this was very, forgive me if this it may,
Forgive me if you've heard
if this
this.
messes with anybody, but you know how some people say, "Oh, I'm not racist. I've got like 2 black friends." You know what I mean, and all
Oh.
this. I was like, yeah, when you say that, it's because
When you say it like that, yeah,
So-
exactly. When you make the distinction,
correct. So
it's because
essentially, that's how David Cage's response sounded like. It's like,
wow.
sir, you're not helping your cause. So, I just want to bring that up, and I wanted to know: does this change your opinion about the game? Does it change your, excitement? Seems to be messing with a lot of people's excitement, but
I mean,
Um,
it's like 50-50, really. Like, I like to know that, a company's doing good behind the scenes. But I mean, that's not always the case. But,
well,
I mean,
still need to know more.
it shouldn't be looked over. It shouldn't be brushed away. It should
No.
actually be looked into.
Yeah.
Because that is an issue. It has been an issue forever. And, even if they produce good things, like if they continue to do it, then they're going to continue to do it if no one's going to do anything about it.
they've come out on record, like I said, saying that that there's nothing to do about. There's nothing there. Essentially, it's all false accusations, whatever. So
Yeah, I read that it's
I
like
hope it's-
like jokes and all that they
Yeah.
bring it up as jokes. I'm like, not
that's
everyone
still,
can
that's
take
the
that.
problem
though.
with that is people don't understand that sometimes those jokes
Can
aren't.
hurt people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and that's the thing they need to realize.
I mean, it's going to do. It's. I like to think that the developers of games I support are not total scumbags.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were to, if investigation will come in to say that, it's as bad as it is, there have been some accusations that, people harassment, stuff like that. It could affect my view, even my excitement about a game, because I definitely I wouldn't want to support companies where that behavior is like just looked at, like and I'm not here pontificating, not trying to be like, I'm afraid of saying the term, so I'm not even gonna.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's early. I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt or see how they fix
respond
things,
to it.
how they
Because
respond to it.
everyone's looking forward to their game that's coming out.
I love to play.
And
I love to play.
If that continues, that will
yeah.
plummet very fast.
Yeah, but then there have been cases, of course. this one in particular is not that bad, you know. But it is a game company, developing studio that I just don't like their attitudes they have towards games, and therefore I'm not looking forward their next titles on a franchise that I used to be a big fan of, which is Borderlands. Like, I don't like the fact that the exploitative behavior of its CEO, or not CEO, but whatever his title is, Randy Pitchford, where he grabbed Duke Nukem 3D, Duke Nukem IP, I mean. He lied to us about the status of it, releases is complete garbage. Alien, Colonial Marines, even worse. That one literally misguided and misdirected people purposefully, and then you look at the end product, and it doesn't matter how great Borderlands 2 was and how much I love that game. Like, I'm done with Gearbox, and to the point where I don't care about games where they're releasing or they're involved with.
See, I didn't even know that.
That's a possible future there for Quantum Dreams and for Sony, because while yes, this is not a first party studio, they work specifically
They're heavily
with them, so
marketing it.
Yeah, exactly. So who's got the next piece there?
Well, should I draw the next piece? Because I'm surprised that we did not open with this piece.
I can do mine's like short, like really short, and then you.
Go ahead.
Okay, because
that's fine.
Yeah, all right. I got the big reveal that's not gonna it's not gonna surprise anybody, but I wanted to bring it up. Go ahead.
Mine's just about the an update about Overwatch's new map,
Oh,
Blizzard World. So it's coming out in their update next Tuesday, on the 23rd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I believe some skins with that too.
Some additional skins.
Yeah.
I saw Pariah with a snake skin of some sort, or
her Egyptian skin.
Do you
I
mean
cannot.
Farah?
Yes.
Farah, sorry. I always do that.
I know.
Always.
It's all right. So, trust me, it's okay. Sometimes people mispronounce
I'm just
names.
messing with him. So.
and I do like that they have skins from other games too, because to announce Blizzard World, like Disney.
Yeah.
It's a nice little thing. So all right, go ahead.
Go ahead, sir. Drop it like it's hot.
All right, so Nintendo Labo. Okay, who has the next one?
That's it. Okay. You have to explain people what Nintendo Labo is, even though everyone probably knows it already.
Oh boy.
Is it Labo or Labo?
Labo?
Yeah, I thought it was Labo.
I think it's Labo for like laboratory.
Until they actually pronounce it, we're gonna go with Labo.
That is horrible.
Well, why not? It's think about it. It's like a play on words. It's like label.
It is.
But why?
I bet you it's Labo.
It's probably Labo.
Yeah, I'm thinking
That's what I thought. Every single time I saw the name, I'm like, oh, Labo.
Labo, yeah.
I'm calling it Labo.
Okay.
Well,
to each their own. Everyone
you
pronounces things
are
differently.
wrong. And not as dumb as this thing is.
So tell us about
So tell us about
Nintendo.
this Labo.
All right, so you guys are gonna hate me for this because
Go ahead, because I can probably count.
well, I got let's say, all right. So here's the thing. Nintendo Labo, you got me saying Labo, is a really cool idea. I like the concept of it. It's completely out of left field, and they literally said, "Hey, this is going to be a project that we're developing for kids and kids at heart," which means for kids. Yeah. It's for kids, period. So you are buying this cardboard slates. Slates, is that what you would call them? Because they're not boxes
slates,
yet. Yeah,
whatever.
They're just
cutouts. You're buying these cardboard cutouts.
Things. You cut them out, and then you can make it following instructions on the Wii, on the Switch. Sorry, on the Switch. This gives you instructions how to put it together, and you can make a bunch of little nifty things, like the reveal shows someone made like a piano or a fishing rod, or there was a little house, exactly, stuff like that.
The motorcycle.
The motorcycle, yeah.
Yeah,
and the biggest one was the robot.
And there was one that it was, you're having this this boxy backpack. I mean, look at it. It's like it's literally a box
I
on your
know.
back. All right. So,
But you know,
But it has a lot of
everybody-
working stuff in
the
there.
internet.
it
yeah.
does. They've opened it up.
Yeah.
It
You
has
have
a lot of
strappy things that you
pulleys
put
and
on.
everything.
Yeah. The internet has lost their collective shit over this. It is everybody is loving this idea so much, and good for them. You know, I'm a little concerned because this
Please
is
tell us your
this,
concern.
How come?
Anybody else would have done the same thing, they would have been laughed at and destroyed. But because it's Nintendo, they tend to have the
Nintendo
benefit of the
magic, yeah.
doubt. The benefit, the Nintendo magic. They tend to. And I hate to say it this way because it sounds like I'm ragging on Nintendo. And hey, I've just recently bought a Nintendo Switch. I love it so much. I have it wall mounted. You can see it. Well, not you guys, but this two can see it. The thing I'm concerned about is I hope that this is not Nintendo going back into their gimmicky crap. And I'll tell you my problem with this. This came out at a completely ridiculous price point. This would have been $30. This would have been a hit. Expensive, but it would have been a hit. Because at the end of the day, you're getting cardboard. Cardboard is what they're selling
Yeah,
you.
they're doing that because
Cardboard
it's
and
cheap.
pulleys
It's
And
cheap
pulleys
and-
and stuff.
Not just
It looks
cardboard.
cool on the ad, but I want you to look closely at the image. And you see, pulleys and like cabling and all that. None of the materials there support the price point of $70 for the one that allows you to make little things, or $80 for the big robot.
So
None of the materials
they're
that
not
support
coming
that.
out in packs.
There are 2 packs.
There are 2 packs.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the pack
For
Robot
the
pack,
small
which
stuff.
is the most expensive one. I think that was $80, right?
yeah.
The robot pack, which is just going to have the robot, and then the variety pack, which will have multiple items.
I think
Yeah.
I think
honestly,
five
like this is just a little speculation because I've seen the videos a few times just because there's like I think a few different videos that I've seen them too that go in depth, and because you do know that one it's cardboard obviously every kid loves that. 2, toys are expensive, and 3
This is expensive.
I know
It's a toy.
that's exactly it's a toy because if you've seen like a big toy in any store it's about that price.
But it's not made of cardboard.
No, but what I've seen in the videos, it shows that you can interact with it, and I'm thinking there's something in the cardboard that allows you to do that. That
Yeah.
it controls with the Switch, so that's also
Yeah.
why it would be a little pricier. Because even though it's cardboard, there's something integrated in the cardboard.
There's no circuits.
Well, not
So
circuits,
no
no.
circuits or anything. Like I say, it is a cool idea. I like it. I mean, I laughed at it first because, of course, it's not for me. But
but
I like.
it's a nice
I
little
saw it
thing
and it
for
was
kids.
like, well, that's inventive. That's cool. And they say it's for kids.
Not only
you
that,
know-
it helps kids, with their developing minds, to play with it,
Well,
let them
that's the
build
thing.
and all that.
It's if there are no Legos.
No,
So
but
that-
it helps them
With Legos, you can build. You can use your imagination. This thing is telling you exactly what to do. Once you build it, that's it. All you can do is just unbuild it.
But kids
Take it apart.
kids
So-
still have a big imagination. You have to remember that.
So, devil's advocate here. Right over here. Standing right here. Waving at you guys. Well, yes, this is clearly not for me. Not for you.
It's a little
not for
cool
us. Okay.
thing, though. I
That
might get
said-
it packed, maybe.
I definitely.
Maybe it's a cool
Kid at heart.
concept. Come
Yes.
on.
She is a
Hello,
kid at
I got
heart, yeah.
Legos. Like
So-
you can't really. I can't complain there.
That said, there are some stuff out there that exists that is very similar to this. As far as a price point, I have nothing there. 79 was it $70 for the variety pack? I do know that there's like some subscription boxes similar to like Loot Crate, where you can order these for your kids and it'll come in with something once a month for them to put together.
Have
and
they, have they confirmed that? Because if that's the
Have they
case,
confirmed what?
I can see
no.
justifying.
I'm not saying
He's
that that's
talking
what
about
this
the
is.
actual
Oh.
subscription.
I'm saying that there is a thing that there are subscription boxes out there that do this.
That do this,
So I
yeah.
can see what I'm trying to say is I can see why this is such a big deal and why people are loving it because while we don't know about it because we never had that, we grew up in time where you couldn't there was no subscription boxes. You know what I mean? So that's what, at the time we grew up. The way kids are growing up today, these things are available, and they have some for science. They have some for younger kids just to put stuff together. Sometimes it is cardboard. Sometimes it's little plastic pieces. Whatever the case is, it's to teach, to entertain, and then all this. So I can definitely see why this is amazing and why people are seriously like, holy crap, I can't believe they're doing this, blah 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 blah, because it's something we've never seen. You know, we're not privy to this, but it is out there. It's big. I think one is called Kiko something or Kikiko or something like that. But they're just they already exist now. Again, I don't know what the prices are. I'd like to say they're about, most subscription boxes average around $20 to $30 per month.
It depends on what they're providing.
Correct. That said, I mean, you're getting from the variety pack, you're getting 5 different items. Maybe there is something behind it to have that. I also don't know how big they are. I mean, we know it's cardboard, but how big are these pieces? You know what I mean?
Like the piano one, the piano one
doesn't matter at that point when they're cardboard.
Well, I think okay.
Yes, but
like I said, it's silly enough to think. It's also.
But also, have you seen cardboard boxes? They're not that cheap.
What?
Cardboard boxes.
Cardboard boxes. Okay. I'm not ragging on the idea. I like that they have their toys and stuff like that.
I have nothing behind the price.
$70.
I have nothing to explain the price.
Yeah.
I can look into some of those other subscription boxes, see what it is that they offer, see how much you're paying. Because if you get 2 items from a subscription box and it costs you $25, well, it takes you 2 months to get to, or 2 or 3 months to get to 5-6 items. One variety pack here has 6 items. Now the robot, which is just one thing,
one big
thing, and that's $80. I don't know the price. Yes, I agree. The price sounds a little bit weird,
but it's Nintendo.
And what are you doing exactly with it? Are you strapping the Switch to your head?
Yeah.
No. You switch you put the Joy-Cons in.
Yeah, the Joy-Cons are in certain spots. With certain things, you do use the Switch, and you put the Switch in it, depending on what it is. So it looks interesting. Obviously, it responds to the cardboard. So
I think there's something lining the card, because there's black spots on the cardboard, and I think it might be lined with some like conductivity in it.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know about that.
Cardboard doesn't conduct.
No.
No, like
she's saying there's something on it.
There's something on it, like an RFID, maybe.
But I think
I feel like that would have been reported on already. I feel like this is more like, I want to build this. And you select what you're going to build, and then it's going to give you instructions on what you're building.
Not only do I think that would have been reported already, I also think if it is that type of technology, then maybe it's more expensive.
Because if you've seen the video, like they're playing with the cardboard, like they're using the cardboard to play it.
Yeah, no, of course, but there wouldn't be any reason to spend money on a discovery system on for the Switch to know what item did you make if you can just select it. Since you have to select what you want to make in order for it to give you instructions on how to build it, then I think that's all it needs to know. Oh, you build a robot, so here, this is the robot game. And you build a little RC thing, then these are the instructions, for it. Like I said, my problem comes from the fact that this is way too like over expensive. And of course people are gonna run to it at first because this is Nintendo, but you give it a year you don't hear about them anymore.
Do the games come with the packs, or do you have to buy them separately?
No, if they come with the
packs, then that would be understandable. I'm going
to go here on a limb and say they come with
that's the biggest question there. If the games come with it, then that's understandable.
Honestly, I thought about that for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't even think about the game. So if the game could be $20, and that still would kind of explain the cost of the pack itself.
Yeah.
And they know themselves that cardboard's disposable, obviously. So
that's the only issue.
Also, if they would have been offering this as a subscription, like and every month you get something else, then of course I'll be all on board. I wouldn't, not for me, but for
you would understand it. Yeah,
but I would understand. But you got it. Then you build it a couple of times. That cardboard goes bad, and what's next? you have a game with no cardboard. Do you need to spend another $80? That's
Yeah,
or
that's what it
$70
sounds
bucks.
like.
That's the issue that I see here. I feel like Nintendo is the only company that can get away with this, and nobody bats an eye. Nobody says like,
Well, we'll see.
you know what? That's a little
Yeah.
Nintendo. Hold on, you're selling me cardboard for like 10 times the price. Are you kind of fucking crazy?
Well,
Nobody says that.
Yeah.
you know.
I know it's
mean,
that. But
Lego
Nintendo
does
is
that.
one of those that can sell you, can sell ice to Eskimos. You know what I mean?
But you know,
Not to me.
you
Because I'll be
know,
like, yep, that Switch is amazing. And I have the 4 or 5 games that I'm playing that is amazing. There's a lot of shit in it also. And I'm going to tell it like I see it.
No,
but
no,
you
no.
know,
I-
Lego does the same exact thing.
Oh, yeah, well, Lego is
Plastic.
that's a scam.
But that's plastic. I'll be.
No, no, I know.
I was happier with the idea of the what the Legos were doing the toys
The
as-
dimensions,
yeah, Lego Dimensions. Was
they're
that-
pricey.
was that
That's the
thing?
game.
Yeah, that's the game.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
where
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
I like that idea. Of
Skylanders.
course, it came out too late, and that fad has passed already. But I kind of like. I
Still
thought
good.
I
I mean,
was.
that's
I thought that was.
Yeah,
was
that made,
cool.
I think that worked out for them. Yeah.
No, it didn't because they
Well, they had to
forgot
shut it down,
they
but I mean, work
shut
while they
down.
were there for it. So they did way too long on it.
No, I think the one that did shut down was Disney Infinity.
Yeah,
Disney
yeah,
Infinity
that's
also.
shut down.
Yeah.
All right, my next piece I've got. Guess what, guys? Guess what? A new Fable is in the making.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
A new Fable is in the making.
That.
Yes, and it's not from Lionhead Studios.
Oh, okay.
as
So
we-
it's
as we
going to
all
be good
know.
now. All right.
As we all know,
'cause
they
we
closed
do
their
know
doors.
that.
Now I'm excited.
And you
In
know,
April.
they had a game and then it never came out.
Yes, which is weird. It's like I mean, realistic. If you remember the things of the game, it didn't even look like a Fable game. When they were showing the image, was it Fable Legends? I think it was called. Yeah, so it didn't even look like a Fable game. But yeah, so that's coming out. Something for Xbox owners to be excited about. Anybody who was excited about Fable, of course, it's not going to be the same people. It's Playground, I think, is the name of the new ones, the new guys who are working on it.
Okay.
So who have worked on other titles for Xbox. So yeah, we'll see.
They better release something this time.
Who's got the next piece?
I can jump in on it real quick since I have
Yeah, go
something
ahead.
that's short and sweet. Castlevania, the Netflix Castlevania series. You remember that?
I
Yes.
Did you guys liked it?
I did,
Netflix
even though it was
Castlevania.
short.
I thought it was okay
Well,
because it was short.
okay. That's cool because there's a season 2 that is happening.
Is it like 2
many
episodes this time?
Because that's the thing. Season 1 was 4 episodes, and they were half-hour long.
Well, no. Oh wow, have a no. There's not much detail other than they claim that they had actually revealed this, and I guess nobody like realized. So I don't know why it's making news, so late. But that's cool. I heard good things, but I also heard that it was like every episode was extremely short. It is expected though. There's no word exactly when is it coming out.
Should be like
Given that
every
the last
year.
one, yeah,
right?
exactly. Given that the last one released in July of last year. So
I think so.
So that's when more or less when they're expecting to have to have this one. I haven't seen the first season. I bet I can finish it in an afternoon.
It's a feature-length film, dude.
It's a feature
Literally.
length.
Yeah, it's a feature-length
Literally.
film.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm done.
All right, so for me, I don't know if you've noticed, but Fortnite had an update recently.
Oh yes.
Where-
I was gonna talk. That was gonna be my next one. Go.
What is it?
Yeah.
Well, the biggest part is that they added 2 new locations on the map.
Oh.
One's a junkyard, another one is an underground mine.
So it's
Cool.
okay. So it's still the same map. They just added
Still the
stuff
same
to it?
map, but they're making it bigger. They added some stuff.
They're
to it.
tweaking. They're tweaking.
They're tweaking the map. Okay.
Portions of the map.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they didn't make the map bigger. They just added stuff to the existing. Okay,
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Okay.
is cool because that game felt like there were some SWAT.
There were some
Yeah, there's
areas
some
where
it felt.
'Cause,
nothing
like-
out there.
Yeah.
Most of the cities were always overpopulated.
Cities. You're talking about
Well,
like
the
3
towns,
houses. Yeah.
the towns. They're overpopulated and all. They've had some features. They added voice chat in the lobby, so prepare for squeakers.
Oh, great.
Squeakers, squeakers,
I'm muting my shit.
squeakers, squeakers.
And
You know
I never really like use a mic unless I'm in a party.
Yeah,
in the
me too.
game. So Doesn't matter.
You know that I almost feel bad for the other game from.
I was actually
Epic.
going to mention that next after this one.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
So I'll mention it. So they've done that. They've updated the kill feed to show the distance on sniper rifle kills and revamped the version of the scoped AR sight.
this is on the
On Fortnite.
battle mode. Okay.
They've also had another change that they added removable friendly fire, because I know I've done that a few times.
I don't think that's cool though.
I don't think that's cool. They should have
and I'm glad that they say that they're just testing to see, but I hope they don't take that feature.
It
Make
says-
it toggle.
It says here that's like a temporary as they evaluate the game. But
I love that. That is a level of strategy that
It
you
is.
have to you have to keep in mind. Hey, don't close my line of fire, for example, or try
I
not
know
to.
I've shot in some friendly fire with
I killed you by
shotguns.
accident. I remember. And then I got killed by accident by Lady Red.
Yeah.
So it happens, but it's what happens. So my last one, I guess, I guess it'd be considered news, is that since Fortnite has gone so big,
Battle Royale.
yeah, their battle royale has gotten so big that it's hindering their other game, Paragon.
Paragon.
So,
yeah, that's the one I was going to say.
Since they're they're not getting enough players. They're trying to think of what to do next with the game. Trying to, I don't think they'll shut it because I like playing Paragon.
I could tell you
I
right
really
now
do.
what they're doing next with the
and
game.
they're
that is
going
shutting
to
it down.
probably either that or revamping it or something, because it's
Put a battle
still
royale.
Well, the problem is that
it's still in beta.
they
you know.
revamped it before, and there were some people who were not happy with the
Mm-hmm.
changes. And now you're losing player count. And this is a perfect example of the mind share that there is out there. There's just not enough.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have all these services because there's only so many people who are going to be around to do it. And one can pull your
your player base.
counts away. And this is them cannibalizing themselves.
Yeah,
So
pretty
that's
much.
Not
Because-
intentionally, because when you consider
definitely.
it,
I think
when you
they
consider it,
also
they're
didn't
two different type of
expect
games.
Battle Royale to blow up the way it did.
And that was dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
To not
I like Paragon, but like if it does
Yeah, me
go,
too.
I'd be sad for it to go because I do like playing it.
I
It's
would
nice
put
to
my
have
money
a
on that's what's
MOBA
going to happen.
on
yeah.
console. So yeah, I thought so too that
Yeah.
they're gonna shut it down. I'm like, oh, okay, because it's been saying that they might revamp it, to bring in people, but we'll see what they're gonna do in the year.
Yeah, definitely. I have no other pieces, so you can take it, sir.
Real quick,
Yep,
we happy
drive
for
us
you.
home
Well, we happy for you.
into the next stuff.
You know that
That one game.
that one game that had everybody thinking like it was gonna be the next Bioshock, and everybody got super excited with that
So
amazing
sad.
trailer.
I didn't even like the gameplay. Like,
Well, it's okay. It's okay. They have been working on it. They realized that not a lot of people were happy with it, and they have delayed it again. So, although it's still expected sometime this year.
even though they
I
had
think-
like beta tests like for a while.
Yeah, and they haven't been going very well. But April 2018 is the date that they've been throwing. What was the original release date? Or where was it expected?
I think it was, like,
It was
February?
actually coming
year.
up here. Oh, the
Either-
original?
Yeah.
I think it was
Oh,
supposed to
no,
come
it
out
was
last year.
It was definitely.
Oh, no,
And then they pushed
definitely
it.
last year, and then they pushed it to sometime, I
This
guess at the
year.
beginning of this year, but now they're saying April 2018, which to me is not a huge delay. But they're saying that they're introducing a new playbook character.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know what that means in a game that I know very little about. Yeah,
There's no story as far as I know. It's like everyone is drugged up to stray
Yeah.
away from what's actually happening.
Yeah. It says players take the role of Arthur, a man trapped in a dystopian version of the UK where everyone is hooked on a bliss-inducing drug called joy. Players need to moderate their intake of the drug in order to see the world around them as it truly is, while behaving in the way that does not draw suspicion. But then I think you tried the beta, didn't you, Mad Dog?
Yeah,
Or
I
do you
did not like
see?
it.
And it ended up being like some sort of like weird survival.
Yeah, it was.
It was
weird.
also progress. What do you call that?
Oh,
Generated
procedurally generated.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm sorry. That's very roguelite, and at that point I'm pretty much signed out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I saw gameplay and it's like, I thought it was gonna be something completely different.
Yeah. And this is not news because it happens every day, almost. I feel like every week it happens. Bungie's apologizing again for another bad week of Destiny 2. This time, evidently, has to do.
Chakrad is like, you know, he loves them.
He's championing the game. Yeah. So. Well, yeah. Once you find your game, it is. It is either very difficult to criticize, or you're overly critical of it. So I feel like that's the player base of
every
of
game.
Destiny. Some of them are willing to take it, take what it is, because at the end of the day they're still having fun. Some other people like it so much they hate the fact that they're seeing these changes. Or once they understand what's really happening, they hate that they're messing up with the reward system and basically modifying the game to try to get you to their ultimate goal, which is to play you, to get your money, to lead you to the loot, the loot store or whatever. So, yeah, that's all I got. Stay tuned. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
All right, guys, we're going to go right into our hot topic of the week.
Hot topic.
Hot topic.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh, man. Hot topic of the week is pretty simple, guys. Best movies of 2017. Our favorites of 2017. Most of you probably already know my list because it's on the group. So that's
Spoilers.
it. That said, I will talk a little bit more in depth here.
You can explain why.
Yeah.
Are you so wrong?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's fine.
I haven't seen your list. I know that you posted it, but I kind of wanted this moment. I don't like spoilers, so I want this moment
Fair
to
enough.
know.
Fair enough.
To know them.
So here's how I'm going to do it. We'll do it one person at a time, not individually. Just kind of go over your list, however order you want to do it. You want to go from the best to the worst, worst to the best. If you only have two, that's fine. Whatever the case may be. But you have the floor with the list, essentially. So, Mr. Santos, are you ready, or should I give it over to Ms. Shadow?
Since I'm probably the person that watches the least amount of movies. I did see quite a few in 2017, and I
just contradicted that statement.
No. I'm saying that overall,
you
I don't
probably
tend to
saw
go
more than me, honestly.
You think so? I don't watch that many movies, but and the reason I mentioned that I was a little afraid of coming into this because I tend to watch some movies for like the entertainment of it, and not so much for like the impact, the cinematography impact, like I'm sure we're going to have MacDog describing. So my list is going to sound very pedestrian, but at least I can assure you it's not going to have any hero movies. So right now, right off my list, we can take away Thor, Ragnarok, and Wonder Woman. You guys should be happy to be nominated. We can take away Blade Runner because I like to say that I like that movie more than I really did. But it was not a bad movie. Logan was great. It's probably the best superhero movie that I saw this year. With that said, I am very glad that there were some awesome movies here that I saw that I did not miss that I can talk about briefly. And those are starting with my number 5. Well, I'm not gonna number them. They're gonna have an order, but I'll probably be switching here, so they're not in no particular numerical order. Let's say, Baby Driver was probably one of my favorite movies of 2017, and I tell you what, it was very distinct. It was very, Yeah, it had a way of separating itself from the typical movies that I'm used to watching. Like that movie was not on my radar until I started hearing about the soundtrack. And you could probably give a quick synopsis better of what those movies are, because I'm bad at explaining.
So Baby Driver stars what seems to be a hard of hearing individual who actually is the wheelman for robberies, and he
and
is
for heists.
for heists, and he is exceptional driver.
Yes.
And on top of that, he's called Baby Driver because he's kind of the runt of the group. On top
Well,
of
his
that.
name is Baby.
I was gonna say.
Well, that's
they
what-
call
that's
him
what they
Baby,
know.
but
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
call
I'm
him
not sure
Baby.
if
I
that's
don't-
his real name. There's a lot of what do you call that? Nicknames
Yeah.
that are thrown about, so you can tell that these people don't know each other. And all. It's really good. The music is
That
fantastic.
soundtrack was after just like you looked at the soundtrack on Spotify.
On
is that right?
Spotify. I have it. Yep.
Yeah. Me too. It's a phenomenal soundtrack.
Here's one. They call me Baby Driver.
That's
a
why.
great one, yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. My next movie that I really, really enjoyed this week, of course, it should come as no surprise, but John Wick Chapter 2
Woohoo!
came out this year. And man, one of those movies that made me fall in love with Keanu Reeves again. Yeah, I know. Aside from the first one, which is fantastic because it's so ridiculous and ludicrous, it's like insane. I feel like this one takes it to the very next step. It's so crazy. They almost establishes what they're gonna want to make as the John Wick universe. I don't know if for better or for worse, but I don't think this is. I don't think this should be a franchise particularly, but if it becomes, I'll probably see the next one until it starts falling down. And
I hope
Nothing that
I hope
great.
this one's literally called Final Chapter.
Oh, yeah.
I really hope it's just like this is it.
yes, I hope so too.
Close it out.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
So tell you what, I'm gonna narrow it down to my three movies on the spot, and to number 3, I'm gonna give it to It.
Ooh.
It
No,
is
really.
pretty freaking awesome. It's supposed to be a horror movie. To me, it felt more like a really fun. It's a horror movie, but it's really fun and funny. There's comedy, in there almost.
A lot of horror movies always have like that dark humor in it,
Yeah, but
and
this one.
some actual humor in it too.
In this one, it's more like the interactions. Like they're not trying to be funny. They're not trying to be humorous. It's just their interactions is so natural and so well acted that some of the stuff they do, and it's just kids, the way they relate to each other, it come as so hilarious that it can't. You can't help but laugh and smile and feel good, even though some freaking horrific stuff is happening, all around in this movie. And that clown is like freaking creepy and fucked up. I liked it so much that as soon as I saw the movie, the very next day I got the book, the Stephen King audiobook, and I listened to it throughout like a period of 2 months. Because it's a really long ass book. Yeah.
But his books are pretty good, though.
Yeah, no, it fleshes out. See, you can see, like, you can definitely notice differences, because they have to. The movie had to take some liberties in order to fit the 2 hour,
Runtime.
2.5 hour runtime. Yeah. Anyway, it is fantastic. I will even invite people that are interested to to see it, and once you see it, you'll get the book, because the book it doesn't. I don't feel like the movie spoils it in any way. The beginning is very similar. It's identical, but what comes afterward it is completely different, because in the movie you feel like they have to make the changes to fit that runtime, and I can't. Well, actually, I shouldn't say anymore. Go watch it. It is awesome.
That was your
Second
third
one.
Okay,
That was
yeah.
my third. So there are 2 hot movies over here. and I want to mention them real quick because it's gonna be a surprise the way that my order. But number 2 was Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Nice.
Because number 1
Nice.
was freaking Lady Bird. I love that movie so much, and it was one of those movies. And I'll tell you how we did it. It's a movie that I watched through the end, and at first I thought, well, this was great. I don't think it's a movie where you get, this is not the type of movie where you get like action and like crazy stuff and like crazy reviews or anything like that. It's mostly more like a tale, being told, and then you learn from it and you're like, oh, that's fine. But it stuck with me. It stuck with me throughout the weeks, and even it's been a month since we've seen it,
Mm-hmm.
and I kept thinking about it and going back to it. It felt really good. It felt really good. Real quick, real briefly, because I have to imagine that's going to be on your list. You're gonna describe that movie a little bit more, and of course, Star Wars. I'll let you also describe. It should come as no surprise because Star Wars: The Last Jedi was excellent. It would have been number 1. It was like a toss-up right there. It was so difficult to decide between these two. But definitely, yeah.
Awesome
That's my
list. Awesome list. Miss Shadow, what do you got for us over there? Talk to us.
Well, since I haven't really something sticking to me. Since I haven't really watched any movies last year, since I was just thinking it's really short. I know that Lady Bird is up there. It was a really good coming of age movie of I want to say was it like the 70s or 80s?
No. I want to say it was like the 90s.
I think it was. Yeah,
It was somewhere like
It was definitely a period piece.
yeah. It was. And
Actually,
it was,
I would say early 2000s.
Early 2000s, maybe.
Was
Yeah.
it?
early 2000s,
I thought it was a little. They were talking a little somewhere
Yeah.
in like the 90s or 80s, and I enjoyed it. It was really nice, a really nice coming of age. I didn't even think it would be like that. I thought it was like some romance, like okay, whatever. But it turned out to be really good, really well done.
For a type of movie, and another for those who don't know, another really dislike when I use this term to describe this type of artsy fartsy movie. That artsy fartsy is not the term, though.
You mean the Sundance?
The Sundance movies? I call them frou-frou movies.
God, I hate that.
But
He's
you know,
laughing
they're
right now,
not-
but he hates it.
I really
does
do
something.
hate
It
that
does
term.
not
You know, they're
like that
not
term.
they're not bad, and I love the main actress because that's not the first time I've seen her.
Oh,
Yeah.
this was the first time to me, and she was great.
No, because she's been in The Lovely Bones, which
Yes, I remember seeing
also
her
loved,
there. Yep. Mhm.
and How I Live Now, which was also a small movie too, which I did like as well. I watched it with my mom, and it had some weird parts, because it was like they were in Europe and they were dealing with some like apocalypse kind of thing that was going on with just them, but it was good, and she's a really good actress,
She is, yeah,
honestly.
definitely.
So I really liked Lady Bird. And another one that I want to talk about would probably have to be Lego Batman.
Lego Batman.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, I know. I wanted to watch that movie so bad.
I saw it
have not
in
seen that movie.
theaters. Like I think one of the days after it came out, and like with the other Lego movie that they had, it was so good.
Yeah. I remember I didn't see Lego Batman, but I did see the first Lego movie, and it
And
was
I heard
pretty
it was
entertaining.
really good
Yeah.
also, yeah.
It was entertaining.
It was really really good. I'm surprised because sometimes it's a hit and miss, but that one was good. It was good family movie. It had its moments. It has a lot of its humor, and also it's stop motion. Like
Yeah.
that's a
Which is-
lot
yeah.
of Legos to stop motion.
Yeah.
And you had
Which is still great. It's a wonderful film art. Stop
It
motion.
is.
It's not a lot of
And-
people do it, and when they do it well. It looks good.
Yeah, I wish I got to see Lego Ninjago, which is their other one that came
That came out
after
this
that
year.
one last year, and I'm sad I didn't get to. Let me see if I can have another one. Yeah, I didn't
Do not
see
mention
many.
Justice League.
No, that is garbage. That is a
Yes.
garbage movie. It needs to go into the trash.
She's not wrong.
No, I'm not. Like,
Not wrong.
I expect Marvel to be that way, not DC.
Oh,
mic
the
drop.
gloves are off. The gloves are off.
No, I know Marvel can get dark.
I'll have
but
you know, Thor Ragnarok was a very entertaining movie. That said,
see, I would have
It
known
was a
that
little
if I
stupid
saw
sentence.
it. Like the
You
only
gotta
like
watch it.
Marvel movie that I've
so
seen.
you
was
picked the
Wonder
wrong
Woman.
ones. What I'm hearing.
But no, those are like literally the only ones. The only two.
Oh, awesome.
Really.
Well, I have my list. I'm just gonna kind of go down my list here. I do have them numbered from good to the best, basically. My number 6
I like
is
that. I like that. There were not bad movies over here because it's obviously a good list. So from the good to the best.
correct. My number 6 is The Big Sick, and that is
Shit.
yes,
I knew he was gonna bring up some movie, some obscure movie that
some
I didn't
frou-frou.
watch. No, I didn't. I didn't say it was frou-frou. I don't know if it's frou-frou or not. Is it frou-frou?
It's not,
You tell me.
I hate that freaking
You like
term.
her-
I
you like-
really hate that term.
You like her, and
Her is
her
awesome,
is
okay?
garbage.
No, it's not.
Pure unadulterated crap.
Wow.
Moving on.
And so is freaking what's the other stupid movie? God, what's that movie? Lost in Translation.
Lost in Translation
Oh,
is amazing.
Bullshit movie. Oh my God, I wanted to gouge
That
my
is-
eyes out to distract me from the pain of watching that movie.
Unbelievable.
Well, everyone has different tastes.
I'm sorry.
So
Go.
The Big Sick is not frou-frou. Actually, it's a comedy, and it's a great little story. It's a story specifically about this guy who is of or I guess in this case Indian descent from India. He has he has his family. He always goes to meet his family every week for dinner. But he ends up dating an American girl, a white girl basically, and of course that becomes a problem for the family because they want for him to be married to I want to say he is, I can't remember, he is Palestine or something like that. But the point is, it's actually really funny, well written. There are some ridiculously awkward moments that you laugh because you're like, oh my god,
Make it stop.
yes, this is just
Like you feel his pain, their pain, with who's ever in that moment.
A quick line from the movie here. This is really funny. Where they ask him, like some people around him, he's like trying to break the ice with them, and they go, "So, how do you feel about 9/11? Whatever." And he goes, "Well, it was a shame. We lost a lot of people there, and that's always horrible. I mean, those 12 guys in the airplane. I mean, they were, and of course."
That's messed up.
Of course, it's like, oh my god, I can't believe it. And then of course he goes, I'm joking, guys, I'm joking, because they obviously are like, what? So anyway, it's really good. I don't want to say anything as far as spoiler because it's also extremely touching story, but definitely worth the watch. My number 5 is Lady Bird. Lady Bird is an amazing film. As my cohorts here mentioned, it is a coming of age tale about a girl she's finishing high school, about to go into college. She wants to get out of her area. A mom doesn't want her to go far. The mom is played by I can't remember her name, but she was the mother in Roseanne. Not the mother in Roseanne, the sister of Roseanne in the Roseanne show.
I'll find her name.
She is amazing, an amazing actress. The father was great. All the acting here was absolutely amazing. Let me see.
Was it Laurie? Was it
Metcalf? Yep, Laurie Metcalf. Yeah. She did an amazing job. There is a great moment in this movie too that kind of just tells you the type of movie it is. They're arguing in a store as they're picking out like clothing, right? And they're like in each other. They're like, "Mom, you can't do that. Look, I just want the best for you." And then one of them grabs the dress and goes, "Oh, look at this. This is actually going to be nice," And that's
the
so
best
realistic.
part
You know what I mean?
Was the very beginning of that movie
Remind me with the very
when they were
beginnings.
driving.
Oh yeah. That's yes.
Say no more.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say because
Yeah.
after if I continue,
it's
that'd be
really
a spoiler.
It's really good. Definitely recommend that. My number 4 is Logan. I know I'm not sure why we were keeping out superhero movies, but Logan.
No, but you have to admit, well, it was Logan was aside, and in retrospect, I should have started with that one because I did really enjoy Logan.
Logan was how do I say this?
That would be my 7th or 6th.
This was, first off, it couldn't exist without everything that came before it. So
Yeah.
regardless of how you feel about the X-Men franchise, the fact that it's there, it gives you this history. And I've been watching. Hey, the first one came out in 2000. You know what I mean? So I've been watching these movies since 2000, and yes, up and down. Some are okay, some are not good, whatever. Here, this is the Old Man Logan story, which is one of the best stories told in comic book when it came to Wolverine's character.
Yeah,
Absolutely love it. Hugh Jackman was awesome in it.
It was very good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The little
But
girl
on
was
top
awesome
of
also.
yeah, I can remember her name, but also Patrick Stewart.
Jonah?
Patrick Stewart as Xavier was heartbreaking, dude.
Yes.
He was.
Oh my God.
Absolutely heartbreaking because I was like, everything that they did with that character just it made me feel like, oh my God, this. And again, it couldn't exist if it wasn't for the fact that what's her name?
Daphne King.
Daphne Keane is X-23. Yeah. So yeah, Patrick Stewart knocked it out of the park. It was just a great film. The villain, not so much, but
Yeah.
it wasn't about them. So that's how
No.
I look at it. My number
Exactly.
3 is War for the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, wow.
Which I got to tell you, usually trilogies don't stick the landing. You know what I mean? Like first one's good, second one's it vary, but my goodness, this trilogy, all 3 parts, and the best part of it is that they're all different. They're all different kinds of movies. They're all part of the same world, but they're different kinds of movies. This one here, while I don't agree with the title because War for the Planet of the Apes is kind of suggests that it's going to be a little bit
really.
yeah, suggests it's going to be a little bit more action based. It wasn't that action based. It wasn't about that though. It was an amazing finish. This guy freaking.
He should have started this before because he's making me want to rearrange my list.
Well, I mean, I haven't watched much,
The
so
circuit wasn't this.
I do
Andy
know
Serkis
that there are some
was
movies that I
amazing.
need to catch up
Woody
on.
Harrelson was amazing.
Woody Harrelson was great too. Yeah.
That was a good villain to hate.
And it was extremely well done.
Yeah.
And my God, man, the apes, man. I mean, there are moments where I go, you
Awesome.
can't tell that these are CG. I'm like, they really put.
These are more human than humans.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
the facial animation. Oh, dude,
It's
so
ridiculous. Yeah.
So that's my number 3. My number 2, okay. My number 2 almost edged out. First off, I have 2 number 1s because I couldn't decide.
Boo, no.
all right.
Come on. Put
All
a
right.
list on that.
So here we'll it is a
or
list.
do 1.1 and 1.2.
Yeah, I was gonna do that. Damn it, you took it away from me. Shit. So this one almost edged out one of my top 2. Okay,
Ooh.
this is my number 2 movie. Get Out.
Get out.
Get Out. Get Out was probably the biggest surprise of this year. Because I wasn't expecting. First, I wasn't sure what I was expecting. I saw the trailer, and the funny thing about the trailer, this is one of those rare films that the trailer doesn't spoil anything.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't spoil
I don't
anything.
feel. I'm not sure how I want to. If I want to watch
Dude,
this
you got to
movie.
do it. Exactly the way you feel is
Uh-huh.
exactly the way I did. When I was like, I can't. These movies frustrate me because again, the trailer made it look a certain way, and these
Yeah.
movies frustrate me. When I see acts of with as small or big acts of racism or anything like that, dude, I get I get frustrated. I'm
Yeah.
like, this just it does me. I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm okay with I can watch a film about it, and all this, but I know what I'm getting into, and sometimes I got to be prepared for it. So I was preparing for this, thinking that this was again, but the trailer just does not
doesn't.
tell you
So
what
it's not-
happened. This movie
Okay.
is the biggest shock I've ever had.
See, that's why I thought it was a horror movie because of
so that's the
the
thing.
trailer. That's why I didn't want to watch it. And
It's also listed as a horror movie, and while yes, there are some moments.
We're watching Get Out tonight.
While there are some moments. She said that's fine. Okay. While there are
She's
some
watching
moments
Dexter,
that are that can be considered gruesome, it's not that type of horror movie, and it's also hilarious, and also extremely well acted. Dude, this
Damn
movie
it.
has no business.
Damn it.
I'm
you know
glad-
what's
I'm glad it's
also
this good.
really surprising of who produces and directs
What
it.
does it say? Rotten Tomatoes, there, sir.
99%.
Okay.
99%.
99%.
So you're telling me that this? I'm sorry. Go ahead. You
No, so as I was saying, what's surprising is who directed and produced it. which is Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele, which is he's
He's a
best known for his
comedian.
comedian, Key and Peele. I'm sure you know them
And
by
also Keanu, the cat movie.
yeah, the cat. Oh, did you ever see the trailer for that cat movie?
Oh yeah,
Keanu.
I do remember.
That's both of them there.
That's
both of them there. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
shoot, okay.
So anyway,
So this is this is one movie where the trailer actually did it a disservice. Then
it.
would you say?
It kind of could have, because,
Kind of,
like
but
I
it
said,
makes people
it may
interested.
hurt. It may you not see it because it's a horror film.
Yeah.
It may you not David you not see it because it's going to be the one. And
Yeah.
like I said, you got to be prepared to watch these things sometimes.
But it could also it's probably both, because it could have made people wanting to see it, or because there are horror movie fanatics there.
The trailer still kept it interesting. But dude,
Yeah.
I don't want to oversell it either. I'm just saying, like I said, it almost edged out my top two because I was just like, this
all
movie
right.
is,
All right.
it deserves everything it gets. I hope it wins awards. I hope Jordan Peele gets something because he deserved it. He did an excellent job there. But again, the movie surprised the heck out of me. My number 1.1, I guess.
1.1 or 1.2?
I don't know.
Does someone start
will we go up the other
yeah.
way? Okay, so then
1.2, the lesser of the two.
Frack. Hold on.
He's like, wait, let me rethink.
1.2.1. He's having a difficult time deciding right now.
I know, because I'm like, I don't know. All right, so
I thought you were prepared.
I am prepared because they were both ones. You're the one making me make point twos and shit.
That's not. We're all winners. No, none of that crap over here.
All right. So my 1.2. Okay, I will give it to Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Yes.
All
My
right.
1.2 only because when I compare the two, this one still had problems in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Problems
I agree.
that I understood. I understood what they were trying to do.
Yep.
I like the ambition behind it. I
Yep.
like the fact that they were trying to do something with it in that middle portion of the film. It didn't land well, and in the end, it was pointless anyway. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That said, I still loved it. I still
it's
love Mark
great.
Hamill's performance, even though he had problems with that Luke Skywalker. I would literally, I've put on, because I follow him on Instagram, and I'm like, dude, don't worry, man, you did well. You did. It was ridiculously good.
It was good.
So anyway. Star Wars, we have a spoiler cast about it. You already know. It's an amazing freaking film. Yeah.
What a way to close this topic of the week. Now we're going to find the real number one. Unless it's already on the list that you posted.
It is already on the list, but that would go to Blade Runner.
Oh, my God.
Blade Runner 2049. When I saw this, here's the craziest part.
Really?
I wasn't a big fan of the original. That said, I saw the original way after it came out. So because of that, it's one of those you had to have been there, seeing it the first time to be all into it. Now, by the time I got to it, sci-fi movies had moved on. Matrix had already come out. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay. That said, I still watch it. Like I can still go back watch the original with Decker and everything, the original Blade Runner, and little by little, I've grown an appreciation for it. It doesn't become a great movie to me, but I've gotten an appreciation for it. When this movie came out, the Blade Runner 2049. There were some short films that came out to kind of lead into this movie. And I, like, the day of, watched the first movie, watched the three shorts, and went to the theater to see the and I was like, this world is amazing. Amazing.
Oh, yeah,
amazing.
no
amazing.
doubt.
And
no doubt.
This guy, the Denis Villeneuve, whatever his name is, absolutely great cinematography in this film, dude. Just there's some scenes in it. It's just like, oh my god, you know, it's just so well filmed.
Too bad they left the ending for DLC.
That's because you don't accept the ending that it is. But that said,
there was an ending.
There wasn't.
Oh shit!
Yes.
I must have missed it then.
You did.
I think I missed it.
Right over
Did I go to the bathroom or something?
You may have.
No, I was very interested on it.
It happened
I
while
saw
you were
credits, and suddenly I was like, wait. What happened?
You know, there are movies that do
After
that.
2.5 hours, like,
I know.
There has to be something after
2.5 hours.
Actually,
Wow,
I think it was close to 3 hours, no? I think it was close to 3 hours,
yeah.
That said, I can't wait to watch it again. And I'm going to buy it because that's how much I really want to watch it again.
3 hours, and it still didn't had an ending.
It had an ending. You're unaccepting of it, but that's okay. So those are my movies, and I wanted to go because the Hot Topic does have a couple lists here.
Yes.
For a couple of people, I'm going to start with Mr. Jason Fariello. He has his list favorite movies of 2017, and it stars as this. First one, Star Wars: The Last Arnaldo. The second one is Arnaldo Runner 2049. Third movie after that is David and Arnaldo, and then we have
David and Ronaldo. Is that like Kumar and what?
Harold and Kumar.
Howard
Yes.
Kumar?
That's right. Yes, but we don't go to White Castle.
No.
We go to Chick-fil-A. Then it's David, Call by Your Name. Oh, Call David by Your Name. Excuse me. David Mann, The Golden Circle of Hugs. All right, and then
I love the golden circle of hugs.
The David Between Us. David Comes at Night. Ooh,
Whoa.
I'm not sure what that's about there.
Well,
Sir, we didn't want to put these type of movies in our top 10.
yeah,
Just
no,
saying,
that's my second job.
and his final one, his number one movie, the Lego Arnaldo movie.
Yeah.
Yes, well done, sir. Well done.
Love the Fariello. You gotta love the Fariello.
Hell yeah, I love the Fariello.
Yeah.
Gilberto comes in. No specific order looks here, but he has.
Oh, he's gonna tell us to see it
He's going to tell us.
because he has seen all of them.
Correct. Logan, John Wick 2. Love these movies. Absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Next set, I saw them and are pretty good. That's Star Wars: The Last Jedi, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 2, the Lego Batman movie,
Oh,
Wonder
you,
Woman.
you messed me there with Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah, I didn't like Guardians.
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's okay. He
That's
said
all right.
they were pretty good.
They're pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
not
But he's
his
putting
top.
it with Star Wars there. That's
Yeah,
a major sin. I'm gonna have to put it in penance.
fair enough.
Go to the corner.
This next set are, well, let's look at them and you tell me what you think. Atomic Blonde, which I did see that, and it was actually, it's action wise, dude. It's John Wick up there.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
shoot, yeah. Kill Bill?
When it who?
Is it Kill Bill?
No. That's a little bit more. I don't want to say
It's
silly,
more,
but that was a little bit more exaggerated.
Transporter, right?
It's no. 'cause
Less than
it's like,
Transporter?
No, it's more than Transporter. It's
Okay.
more John Wick. It's like,
Okay.
Like,
the
wow,
fights
yeah.
here. I'm like, I know somebody hit him. I know these people are hitting each other because these are something real. That said, the story, I couldn't even tell you what happened to the story. I was like, why does it feel like I'm not following what's going on? You know,
There's too much fighting, that's why.
it could be. Fate of the Furious, which he has listed as the best comedy of the year.
Oh,
I bet you they didn't sell it that way, but yeah. Hey.
hey.
Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage.
Triple X. Dude, what are you doing, man? I'm talking about best movies here.
And
You're
then-
bringing like frigging
And then
Furious 8 or whatever the hell.
finally, Boss Baby, don't care that it's a kid's movie.
I saw Boss Baby.
I did see it
Well,
too.
I heard it was really good.
It was all right.
It was okay.
good.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Giovanni has one. List of one. Logan, hands down. Period.
Hands down. Wow. That's his best movie?
That's his best movie. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
And,
you got to respect that.
Yep.
Man had a mission. He knew exactly.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that brings us here to the end of a wonderful episode, the real episode 91 of GG's The Mouthful podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sorry?
No, I was going to say, if that's really the number.
It is the episode, yes, 91. I checked it. I fact checked it. Come on now. Have a little faith in me. All right, guys. So again, this is Arnaldo signing off for this week. Mr. Dreamy Twister, what do you have for us?
I am looking forward playing more Street Fighter, hopefully with you.
I gotta go reinstall it. I gotta
Yeah.
reinstall it.
All right. And then we can stream it.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice
All right.
of you duking it out.
Miss Shadow, take us home.
I know that there are a lot of movies that I missed last year that I am going to watch when I get the chance.
Oh, I was gonna say.
And Netflix.
When I get home, I'm like, whoa,
No,
that's a lot to ask for one night.
I know, right? That's like a lot now.
I need to watch Dunkirk.
You do need to watch Dunkirk.
Yeah.
And I need to watch it again. Like I said, the way I saw
I
it.
was going to
is not
watch
a good
it
way of seeing
on Cody, but I'm like, I don't feel like doing it right now.
No. This movie. Here's the sad part. This movie needs
Cowbell.
IMAX.
Oh,
It needs the
IMAX.
speakers.
Yeah.
This first off, what's his name? Oh Jesus, Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan specifically makes movies meant for the theater, and you don't see it in the theater you end up missing a little something. And Dunkirk has. I played it at home with the volume all the way up, and I can tell you, I'm like, this is insane. Think of the XL theater that we went to. My God, we'd just be blown out of that damn thing.
I could have been watching in the middle of the ocean.
You don't want to do that.
No.
It's about sinking ships, for Christ's sake.
I know.
You don't want that.
Cruise. It was awesome. I missed it.
All right, guys, so we'll see you next week.
GG!